Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Clangin and Bangin with Mikey, episode 65. And I know this month is Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month, and Cerebral Palsy Awareness Day is on the 25th, which is a Friday. I haven't done anything this year in terms of cerebral palsy, because I know last year people who watched my channel, I had a whole month just dictated, to that, the different variations of CP and how it affects the brain. And I was doing a lot of research myself since I have CP. Um, I only knew, what my version of CP was. And so with that being said, it was educational for me to learn about, the different variations of this disability. And the blessing and the curse of this disability is that it does not get worse, but it does not get better. You know. But I wanted to talk about I know for the last, couple months I've been, in the dumps and everything too. As you guys know, I fell in love with my best friend and it just wasn't reciprocated. And that crushed me for a while. And that crushed me for a while, I'm not gonna lie. Me and her, we're still friends. We're still talking. A lot of you guys may ask yourself like, yo, like, why are you still talking to this girl that you fell in love with? Because at the end of the day, man, we had a lot of growing to do. We still have a lot of growing to do. We're not perfect. I remember she told me, in most recently after I posted that TikTok video, and and she saw it, and I knew she was gonna saw it, see it, and I knew it was going to destroy her, and it did. Um, because a part of me had to remind people who the fuck I was. Yeah, I'm this funny, lovable, laughable dude, but I'm also a dude who's, when he gets to that level, he doesn't give a fuck about your feelings, and in that particular situation, yeah, it was something that not that I had to do, it's more like I had to remind her who the fuck I was. And I did that. But I did it in a way that was just humiliating too at the same time. Because everybody saw that video. There was almost like, I think 900 people saw that clip on TikTok before I took it down. Um, X amount of people saw that on Instagram. You know what I mean? So, and I thought about it, man, and was I wrong for doing it that way? Yeah, 100%. Was I wrong for showing my emotions? No, never. And I told her that I told her as a yo, was like, I gotta cut you out my life, for this time being. I don't know how long that's gonna be. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I gotta, the feelings that I have for you, like, I, not that I have to kill them off, but they gotta die down a little bit. They have to just, get buried for a little bit to see if I can actually, not if I can actually, to help me move on from whatever this was. Because at the end of the day, we were never in a relationship. We were never together. We were never a couple. But, you know, but, we were talking like we was one. We was arguing like we was one. And that's like everything that we did, it mimicked being in a relationship, but yet we weren't in a relationship. And so at the end of the day, man, I'm always love this girl, no doubt about it. But I think for me and myself, it's like, I don't want to walk away from her because I still love her as a friend. But I can't be around her, especially this time. During this time, I think that we're just friends. Because I think she knew that I loved her. I think she knew that I was in love with her before I even fucking said I was in love with her. There was an instance where I had bought her flowers, right? And so she was studying for the police exam. And so I think the day before the police exam was here, got flowers delivered. And so she was still living with her mom at that time, so I dropped it off at the mom's house. Actually, no, I had it delivered. My bad. I had it delivered to the parents' house, and so I get the call at about 10:30, 11 o'clock, and guy tells me like, hey man, like I'm at the spot, this and this and that, and I'm like, cool. So the whole entire day, me and her are texting back and forth, right? And I had to refrain myself from bringing it up, and so I get a text from her about 5:36, and she's like, she sent me a picture of the flowers, and she's like, oh, thank you so much, this and this and that. And then she asked me like, hey, what, are you free to talk? And I was like, oh no, well, I'm finishing up my workout, but once I get done, I'll give you a call. So about an hour later, I gave her a call, and like we was talking, and she asked me like, oh, like, so I'm curious, like, why'd you buy me flowers? And and she goes, well, and she says, she goes like, this is not something a friend does. But how she said it was like, if you're gonna ask me type of deal, right? And I simply said like, yo, I'm not trying to be just your friend. Like I had to do a gesture that made you think that I want you more than this friendship. And yeah, man. So I think she knew from then what the deal was, and how I was moving and everything, man. Um, yeah, and then as months went on, actually, no, like this was like it's like almost a year ago, and as months went on, recently too, like everything that I was doing before was never a problem, and she started finding faults in all the shit that I was doing. All the jokes that I was saying before, man. Now she was uberly sensitive to it too, and I can't blame her, because I had conditioned her, to become sensitive, with the falling outs that we had and everything, and the smallest remarks. And so she wasn't. And for the longest time, I was fucking with her head. I 100% admit that I was saying shit and doing shit that wasn't her. She hadn't seen this version of me, like this version of Mikey. She hadn't seen, and so when I was coming out her neck, and I was saying jokes and shit, but it was more like I was, really, leaning on thick type of shit. Like, I would I would constantly say like, hey, instead of calling her, shawty or whatever it is, I would say big head, and I would keep saying shit like that, or I would every time she would say something, I had a witty ass comeback for it, but it, but I wasn't joking. I was, that was me coming out of her neck, and I kept doing that. And I think there was it came to a head one night when we was in the DMs talking, and then she said something, and I didn't really understand it. So I was like, huh? And then she was like, yeah, well, she was like, hey, well, like I was trying to be funny, this and this and that, and so my ass was like, well, period, you, period, failed, period, horrendously, period. Yeah, and it came to a point where she was like, why why you acting like this? Like, what's up? And she's like, and I was like, and I didn't respond to it too, because it's like, she's like, and she asked me like, she's why you want to talk to me? If this is how you want to talk to me, if you're gonna be disrespectful all the time, and I didn't respond, so I left her ass on red. And then like 3 hours later, I was like, yo, I was like, I miss my best friend, and I should have told her then what I told her a week ago, but I knew then I was in love with her. I mean, I didn't, or I knew it was something more than friendship. I didn't verbally come out and say that that I was in love with you, and yeah, man. At the end of the day, you know, there's some people, man, like, cause I told it before, it's like we got that Jada and Pac love, and it's like, yeah, like we a little messy, and everything, and all the other stuff like that. But at the end of the day, there's nothing I wouldn't do for that girl, and vice versa. You know, she knows stuff about me that nobody else knows, man. Uh, and the thing about it, bro, that video that that I keep talking about, that TikTok video, I knew exactly what I was doing, man. And I knew exactly what the repercussions were. And I was ready to never ever talk to her again. And when she had uh when she saw the video, she was like that really hurt me. I didn't know how to respond to that. I didn't, she's like, it made me seem like that you hated me, and she's like, I didn't understand because it's like you just went off and like did that, and there was no explanation to why you did it. You just did it, and it's like, um, part of me, the first time that we had a major falling out, I blocked her on social media. And I didn't talk to her for like 2 months. Oh, almost 2 months. And it wasn't like she was reaching out or anything like this because she wasn't. I wasn't reaching out either. I was actually content with leaving it with how it was, and I knew for a fact that I was talking to one of my good friends about it, and he told me like, bro, he's like, as much as you're pissed at her, as much as you're mad at yourself for what you did, go talk to her because I guarantee you, she wants to talk to you too. And so I did, and the very first thing that that night, I hit her up. I left her a couple of voice messages, a couple of DMs, and she hit me back the next morning, and she was like, hey, like, it's unfortunate this, that it's got to be this way, but I wish you the best, Mikey. And you know that I love you, and that was that. And that's when we started talking again, and I told her, like, yo, it's like, not only were you my best friend, but you were the girl I fell in love with. You were the girl that that I wanted to change for. That I wanted to become better for. You were the girl that that while everybody else was trying to trying to get you undressed physically, I was trying to undress you mentally. I was trying to understand your pain, understand your insecurities, understand everything else around you because of what I saw, because I know your history. That's the girl that I fell in love with. Yes, physically you're beautiful, but I was more in tune with your mental. And I told her, I was like, yo, it's like I don't know what the future holds like you. I don't know, but at the same time, I do want you in my life. I just don't know in what capacity yet, and I gotta figure that out. And and if it if it involves not talking to you for a certain time period, then it is what it is. I can't stand her boyfriend. Not because of my feelings towards the situation. I just don't like him. I don't like how he conducts himself. I don't like how he disrespects her. But at the same time, that's not my place. So at the end of the day, man, self accountability, and it's I'm learning every day. Every day I'm getting better at it. Because at the end of the day, I was talking to a partner of mine. I'm like, we kept talking about our shorties, this and that. I'm like, bro, I get it, but at some point in time, we gotta move on. Some point in time, we can't sit here, for 2, 3 hours on a Saturday on the phone every Saturday on the phone talking about this shit. Because at the end of the day, we both know what we want, and what we want, they can't give. So there's no point of us being in a situation where we're constantly hoping for something to happen when it's not gonna happen, man. Because at the end of the day, people are gonna be who they want to be. People are gonna date who they want to date. People are gonna get the heart broken no matter what, But it's our job to become, to become better. It's our job to become better human beings, better brothers, better sons, better fathers, better husbands. Every day get better, man. I'm not the same cat I was a year ago. I'm not the same cat I was 5 years ago, man. So at the same time, bro, so you gotta get better. And we all have flaws and shortcomings and and pitfalls, man, that we have to get through. We all, and even at 33 years old, I still have things I have to work on. I'm still growing every day, and this podcast has helped me because I can look back at certain situations and just see how I've grown and see what I've been through and and everything. But I just want to wrap this up, man. And this is about 16 minutes of your life that you won't get back. I just wanted to let you guys know that the album is coming. We're working on it. Me and my partner, we're gonna get in a lab. We're gonna bang out a few beats. And I've been writing every day, man. So yeah, it's gonna come. The album's gonna get here, man. I appreciate y'all and the support. Whether it's buying the music or wanting to stream it or whatever it is, bro. I'm telling you, when we get this shit done, it's it's gonna be hot. Anyway, hope y'all keeping it the 4Ps. Private player, positive pushing. See y'all next week. Love y'all. Ghost.